A man who calls himself a genius. A man who eliminated the world's most powerful theocracy's leader before breakfast. A man who world leaders fear but can't ignore. What goes on inside the mind of Donald J. Trump? How does he think? How does he decide? And why does it seem like nobody can predict his next move? Today, we break it all down, piece by piece. Let's start with the most visible part of Trump's personality: narcissism. The word gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean and how does it apply to Trump? Narcissism at its core means an excessive need for admiration and a deep belief that you are superior to others. Trump has called himself a very stable genius, the greatest president in American history. Nobody knows more about taxes than me. Nobody knows more about debt than me. Nobody. Now, is this confidence or is it something deeper? Psychologists who have studied Trump say it's a pattern, a very consistent one. Trait 1, he cannot accept criticism. Every journalist who criticizes him becomes fake news. Every opponent becomes crooked or corrupt. He doesn't debate the criticism, he destroys the critic. Trait 2, he needs constant attention. Trump cannot stay off social media. He cannot stay out of the headlines because attention is his oxygen. Without it, he suffocates. Trait 3, he never admits mistakes. In Trump's world, everything that goes wrong is always someone else's fault. Biden's fault, Obama's fault, the media's fault, the deep state's fault, never his. But here's the thing, narcissistic people are often incredibly intelligent, and Trump, love him or hate him, is not stupid. He reads people, he reads rooms, he reads power, and he uses all of it to win. Now we get to Trump's most dangerous and most brilliant strategy, the Madman Theory. This idea was first used by President Richard Nixon during the Cold War. Nixon wanted the Soviet Union to believe he was unpredictable, even irrational, because if your enemy thinks you're crazy, they won't provoke you, they'll negotiate instead. Trump took this theory and supercharged it. Think about North Korea. Trump threatened Kim Jong-un with fire and fury like the world has never seen. The entire world panicked. Kim Jong-un panicked. And then they met in Singapore, shook hands, smiled for the cameras. That is the Madman Theory in action. Scare them, then deal. When Trump ordered the killing of Soleimani in 2020, Iran didn't know what to do. They expected sanctions, maybe airstrikes, not a drone strike on their most important general. And so Iran's response was measured, limited, careful, because they didn't know how far Trump would go. And when Trump authorized the strike on Khamenei himself, the world froze. No one had ever done this before. No sitting U.S. president had ever targeted a head of state this directly. That shock, that paralysis, is exactly what Trump wanted. Uncertainty is his greatest weapon. When your enemy can't predict your next move, they can't prepare for it. Before Trump was a politician, he was a deal maker. And that never changed. His most famous book is called The Art of the Deal. And it's not just a book, it's his operating system, the code he runs in every decision he makes. Here's how the Trump deal works in 4 steps. Step 1, ask for the impossible. Whatever you actually want, demand 10 times more, so when you compromise, you still win. Trump demanded a border wall paid for by Mexico. He knew Mexico wouldn't pay, but the conversation was now on his terms. Step 2, use the threat. Every Trump negotiation includes a threat. Tariffs, sanctions, military action, trade war. The threat may be real, it may be a bluff, but it shifts the power dynamic immediately. Step 3, isolate the target. Trump pressured NATO allies on Iran. He squeezed Iran's trading partners. He cut off financial systems until Iran stood almost completely alone. Step 4, come to the table on your terms. When the opponent is exhausted, isolated, weakened, Trump appears with an offer. But it's his offer, his conditions, his victory. This is what he did with China. This is what he did with NATO. This is what he's doing with Iran right now. There is one thing Trump considers the ultimate sin: weakness. Trump has an almost pathological hatred of appearing weak. In his world, showing weakness is the same as losing, and losing is not acceptable. He never says sorry. He never reverses course publicly. He never defends. He always attacks, because in his mind, defense is defeat. When Obama signed the Iran nuclear deal, Trump called it the worst deal ever negotiated. America was humiliated. We looked weak. When America withdrew from Afghanistan, Trump called it a disgrace, the most embarrassing moment in American history, even though Trump himself had begun the withdrawal. Killing Soleimani, killing Khamenei, these were not just military decisions, they were statements. Iran has been hurting Americans for decades. That ends now. America is not weak anymore. But this psychology has a dangerous edge. A man who cannot afford to look weak can never back down, even when backing down might be the smarter move. Now let's place all of this psychology into the Iran context. For Trump, Iran represented everything he hated. A regime that humiliated America in 1979 and never stopped. A country that funded militias killing American soldiers. A theocracy building toward a nuclear weapon. A system that, in his view, Obama rewarded with a bad deal. So Trump's response, in 3 phases. Phase 1, maximum pressure. Tear up the nuclear deal, impose devastating sanctions, strangle the economy, make the cost of resistance unbearable. Phase 2, military shock. Kill Soleimani, Iran's most powerful general. Send the message no one is untouchable. Force Iran to make a choice, escalate or negotiate. Phase 3, regime decapitation. Kill Khamenei himself. Eliminate the entire military leadership in one strike. Reset the entire system. Force Iran to start from zero. But here's what's critical to understand. Trump does not want a long war. He's a businessman. Wars are expensive. Wars destroy economies. Wars lose votes. His formula is maximum pressure, maximum shock, minimum war. Hurt them so badly, they come to you. But don't occupy their country, don't spend $1 trillion, don't lose American lives for decades. This is what he calls himself, the one who ends wars, not starts them. So, is Trump a madman or is he a genius? The honest answer is he's both. And that is exactly what makes him so effective and so dangerous. He is predictable enough that his supporters trust him. He is unpredictable enough that his enemies fear him. And he lives permanently in that space between. His psychology rests on 5 core pillars. Pillar 1, narcissism. His image is everything. He will sacrifice almost anything to protect it. Pillar 2, the Madman Theory. Unpredictability is a weapon. Keep your enemy guessing and you keep the upper hand. Pillar 3, deal mentality. Everything is negotiable. Every conflict has a price. Find the price and close the deal. Pillar 4, hatred of weakness. Never apologize, never retreat, never show doubt. Strength, real or performed, is non-negotiable. Pillar 5, strength as theater. Even when you're uncertain inside, project absolute confidence outside, because perception is reality. Understand these 5 pillars and every Trump decision, Iran, China, Russia, NATO, makes sense. He's not random, he's not crazy, he's running the same playbook over and over again. And so far, it keeps working. Understanding the most powerful man in the world is not optional. His decisions affect not just America, but every country, every economy, every family. You may love Trump, you may hate Trump, but you cannot ignore his psychology. Because in today's world, those who understand power are the ones who survive it. This was the mind of Donald Trump. If this video made you think, hit like, share it, drop a comment below. Is Trump a genius, a madman, or both? Subscribe because more deep dives are coming.